Hi, it's Garret from Upper Edge Property Management, and today I'm going to be covering a very common investment question that any investor owning a rental property is going to ask, which is, should I sell or should I keep my property? What we like to do when somebody comes to us with this question is really educate. Let's say you want to move back into the property, so obviously that's a factor. Maybe you want to sell it because you are moving out of country and you need the money. A lot of people might want to be selling because they think they're not making money on the property. So we would go right in and do sort of a deeper dive and unpack why they think they're not. A lot of investors make the mistake of focusing too much on cash flow. Obviously, as an investor, you don't want to be negative in cash flow, but cash flow is not the overall determination of whether a property is successful for your investment portfolio or not. For example, on a typical rent on a single family home, by the time you factor in expenses and mortgage payment, property tax, insurance, perhaps you have a management company like ours looking after it, you might only be left with $150 or $200 worth of cash flow. Multiplied by 12, that might be only a couple $1,000s. However, the true profit on the backside of things, when your accountant sits down with you at the end of the year, you're looking at the benefits, obviously, but I'll outline these, of the resident paying down the principal on that mortgage. That's thousands of dollars that's in your pocket. There's also write-offs that happen, obvious tax advantages. I'm not a tax expert, so absolutely speak to your accountant about that. But there's also the appreciation of the property. We live in Winnipeg. It's a very stable market. And so if a property is appreciating at 5 or 10% or whatnot on a $200,000 property, that's again tens of thousands of dollars. It's really critical when you're trying to decide to dispose of a property or not, to look at how much you're making, look at your personal situation, talk to your accountant. It might not be the right time to dispose of it. It might trigger some kind of capital gains or income tax or something, depending on that individual's personal situation during that fiscal year. It's not an easy question, not an easy answer, but hopefully I've helped clear some things up and provided some clarity today. Thanks for watching.